Hello from Southern Ontario, November 24th. So I was watching some of the testimony at the inquiry into the Emergencies Act. Marco Mendocino, our Minister of Public Safety, often aptly referred to as Pinocchio because, this guy rivals Trudeau and Freeland, like put together, in the number of lies he's been blatantly caught out in, which is a commendable performance, especially when you consider he hasn't been a front and center face nearly as long as they have. So, in testifying, and I should say, we have the government lawyers and what's referred to as the convoy lawyers. The government lawyers outnumber them like 10 to 1, but the convoy lawyers should be more aptly called the people's lawyers or the citizens' lawyers. However, that aside. He was asked a leading question and then left to ramble away. And some of those talking points, the aptly named Pinocchio, where did he start off with? Well, a general ramble about the threats, the violence, the flags, all the stuff that's been disproven. We'll come back to that a little more. Then he went on to mention the weapons charges laid at various locations. Well, it would seem evident he hasn't been following the proceedings at all, because there were, in fact, 2 weapons charges laid. I should mention he was talking specifically about the first weekend that the convoy arrived in Ottawa, and the following couple of days. This is the time frame he's talking about. Now, there were 2 weapons charges laid in Canada in that time period, or slightly before. One was in Ontario, one was in Alberta. Both solid testimony, irrefutable, by CSIS, the RCMP, the Ontario Provincial Police, the Ottawa Police, and etc., as having nothing to do with the convoy. There's no dispute about this, but he's off rambling about it. Another couple inches on your nose there, Pinocchio. Then he went on about the multitude of border crossing blockades and the threat to public safety. And sorry, Marco, they'd been cleared by then. Then he wrapped up his ramble by talking about how he was worried for the safety of the Prime Minister should he come to the capital, to the parliamentary buildings in Ottawa. Well, in the first place, he's Minister of Public Safety. The RCMP is in charge of the Prime Minister's safety. As much as we all wish they'd, take a day off, you know what I mean? But anyways, that aside, the Prime Minister safety, again, covered by the RCMP. It's not under the jurisdiction of the Prime Minister, the Minister of Public Safety. Then he hung himself further, Pinocchio that is, by saying he didn't actually know where the Prime Minister was while he was worried about his safety. Well, nobody actually knows where he was. He was in hiding. Was he in Costa Rica for a photo op and some suntan those 3-4 days we're talking about, or was he hiding in the woodpile behind the cottage? He admitted himself he didn't know. Now, that wasn't the all of it, but wow. So what did he prove? 3 points. He hasn't been following the proceedings at all, which shows how arrogant the government is in thinking that they have everything sewn up with their agenda, which obviously they do feel quite confident about. That he still feels he can just say anything he wants and he's going to buy it. And probably that the headlines for the mainstream media, the CBC, the Toronto Star, and everything will just headline his talking points: violence, threats of violence, fear for the Prime Minister, and, the claims, false, blatant lies that he made in his ramble. So, well, we'll just leave it there. The aptly named Marco Pinocchio Mendocino. What a piece of work, man. The irony of it is, if anybody actually watches that testimony, you're left wondering if you've got any junk below your belt there, buddy. You were sure standing on it.